What's up, gamers? It's Cooper here. We're at the Namco Bandai booth. Right behind us, we got Splatterhouse, the ultra-violent remake, revamp. What is it technically?
I would say it's like reimagination of the original game, but we're kind of flushing out the story more because the original side-scroller games didn't have a whole lot of story.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was mainly arcade, right? Oh, I'm sorry. This is Jason, by the way.
Oh yeah, well, hey everybody. But there was also the second arcade game and the third game, so we are taking elements from the other games and kind of weaving them into this. But for anyone that's never played Splatterhouse, this is a great way to start because it's really kind of like reimagining the first game with a lot of other great stuff. And we have even the original 3 games.
They're unlockables, right?
Unlockable. And so, for some people, you probably have played them, but like the original game, which was only in the arcade, when it came to like Turbo Grafix and the Genesis, they actually had some adjustments to the graphics, and they actually changed like the mask to red.
It's basically censored.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically back then, yeah, it was like the big controversial thing. But we have the original pristine arcade game that you'll actually be able to play in here. So
it's a platform game, but obviously we see this is probably a boss fight behind us going on right now.
Yeah, this is actually I mean, it's actually not a boss, but it's one of the bigger monsters. I mean, essentially, we've really kind of made Rick a really powerful guy. He's got a lot of great combos, a lot of great depth to the gameplay. You know, jabs and uppercuts and charge up things, and like the mask also has its own source of power. So you can actually use mask moves. Like there's one move where like literally Rick's hands become scissors, and they literally like cut a monster from the torso, and it's all like stop matrix like kind of look and effects. It's really cool.
And then really bloody, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. That's definitely the amount of that. Then we have splatter kills, which are special combo executed moves that literally are extra like detail as far as how you're dismembering the enemy or ripping things off. You guys obviously grab limbs, use them as weapons, grab heads, throw them.
There's environmental kills too, right?
There's environmental kills, so like there's even collateral damage like flames. If you knock an enemy into flames, they'll get burned, stamped on, they get splattered. Obviously, Splatterhouse, you got to have splattering, of course.
Blood everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. But it's done very much in the horror gore, kind of B movie flicks. One of the great things about this game compared to like the original games is that you really flush out the story. What's the mask all about? What's the relationship between Rick and the mask? I mean, at some level, it's obviously symbiotic. But at the other hand, it's like the mask is basically infusing like Rick to do these evil deeds.
He's getting bloodlust from.
There's a little bit of like a psychological battle going on, and Rick like wants to get this mask off of him. So meanwhile, he's all pissed off because like his girlfriend Jennifer's missing. So he basically goes through the mansion, Dr. West's mansion, like basically ripping limbs and tearing up
whatever he's got to do.
Because he's like, I got to do whatever I got to do to get to Jennifer, and as far as I know, the mask is the only way I can do that.
So how long are we thinking gameplay time?
Well, it's actually a really long game. Like even the E3 demo, like if you haven't ever played this game, you're gonna at least be an hour just to play the E3 demo, which is pretty long for an E3 demo.
Yeah, it's really long. Usually it's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, we even had to put like special checkpoints in just so we could jump the stuff in case people want to see different things. But the overall game, we're expecting to be an average like for an action game, 8 to 10 hours, depending on, game skill, of course. But
is there any like side quest stuff, or is it really just the story?
Yeah, we're still talking about it, but we do have other stuff in there that, for replayability factor. We're not completely talking about that stuff yet, but there's definitely other stuff beyond the original game. Playing just the game from start to finish.
Awesome. So we got Splatterhouse developed by Bottle Rocket / Namco Bandai, and it's coming out this fall?
Yeah, I mean, basically this fall, and then on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and it's kind of now it's a Namco production now. It's just we've kind of
they're all part of the team now.
Basically, that's really what it is. So we brought them in, and we're now making it a really great game. So
awesome. Thanks a lot, Jason.
Yeah, no problem.